Good morning. Welcome back to the Desert Inkwell. My name is Jeffrey. If you're new here, we spell things really poorly, sample inks, review some pens. If you're not new, thanks for coming back. We've been away for a bit. I generally try and post every other week. I am trying to increase that. But I traveled to the DC Pen Show at the beginning of the month and had an amazing time. I need to map my way through that video before I make it, so that one's less off the cuff because I don't want to forget anything. And then I went and saw a family, and somewhere in that mix, before I saw my family, traveling to or from the pen show, I got a nasty case of the Rona. So then I was down for another about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, starting to feel better, getting stuff done. So for everyone who reached out with kind messages and encouragement and checking on me, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you for that. What are we doing today? Today, I'm gonna just let you know what I'm doing with my ink. So, samples, bottles, keeping track of all of that. Probably won't be too long of a video. Might be. Just the process of what I'm doing regarding samples, bottles, tracking those inks, and then I am going to put some ink samples together because I'm going to meet a new pen friend today, Amy. Amy, if you, probably won't watch this before I see you. So I'm sure we are going to have a fun time. We're going to have lunch and swap some ink samples and just hang out and have a chat. So I'm going to be filling a couple ink samples for her, and that's a quick flip through maybe of inks that I've gotten. We're gonna say from end of July till now. It's a lot, and then that's about it for today. What do I have in the pipeline? I have received so many ink samples at the DC Pen Show from different friends and from the sharing table. So I really want to do a video just focused on that, because I also do an ink swap with a good friend of mine. Well, now two good friends. So I want to do that. And then a very generous friend sent me 2 bottles of ink from the San Francisco Pen Show. So if you're watching, Claire, thank you for those. I absolutely love them. So without further ado, let's get to the other camera. I have some of the lighting turned off because the way I'm tracking bottles of ink, I didn't want a lot of glare. So if you're wondering if it's a little dark, sorry. But let's get to it so that we're not here for 7 hours, 656 minutes. I can't. So, last thing before we get into this video and I embarrass myself. I am feeling better, but the cognitive function in my brain hasn't fully rebounded. I know sometimes I'll spell something wrong or whatever the case may be. Is that situation has not gotten any better. I thought maybe it would jolt my brain, and it has not. And in many cases, it's even worse than it was before. Okay, now I've said it 3 times. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello again. Okay, funny thing happened switching the camera. I put the camera in this phone mount, and then it pressed the buttons, and then it was calling 911 in whatever seconds. So, yeah, that was fun. So this is actually a minute so later while I Fumbled around with that. As you can see here on... Oh, you know what? I have another light. There we go. Maybe that's better. We'll start with samples. So, a couple things I have done with my sample life, remove those for just a moment, is I bought these little containers. Now, it's better than the storage that I had. I need a sturdy band to hold, because I have 3 of these worth of samples. These are newer, and the ones with the little green dots all over them, those are all from Lexi. She's very organized. And look at that. That one's her favorite. And the ones with the white cap, I believe, are from my friend Carmen. Yes. Those two just bring me so much joy. We'll get way more into those 2 friendships in my DC Pen Show video, which if I get motivated, maybe I'll do the middle of the week. Otherwise, the goal is next weekend. Okay. I have 2 passport notebooks here. And the first one, my friend Carmen made. And Carmen, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry for this news. I tried to be really cute and use stamps and do samples here at the bottom, and then it like smudged. So I tried to do it here, and it smudged. So I put some stickers on the front of this. And you know what? This is a living notebook. Like I use it. So there's going to get some ink. So I feel bad, but I also am good with it. So samples. I don't know why that's in there, but it's cute. So these are Midori passport inserts. Traveler's Notebook Company. What I'm doing with my samples is just swatching them in this book. So you can see my sister came to the pen show with me and gave me some samples, and I was able to swatch those, and some samples I have gotten. Wearing Old Path, that was from Lexi. It's a gorgeous ink. It's yeah, just fantastic for me. You may notice I don't really write the ink color name in the color of the ink. Why don't I do that? I think it's laziness, to be honest with you. And to combat that, I've determined I don't really super enjoy glass dip pens. Now, I have one that's like a glass dip nib that I can put on another pen. That was a gift from my friend. But I have purchased this, if you can see it. This is a Sailor Hokuro dip pen. And this is what I'm going to be using moving forward, because then I can write it in the name. I think the only thing is that, I mean, it gives me an idea of what an ink will look like, but not exactly how it's going to look in that pen. So, anywho, that's where we are. I think this is fantastic. I wish I could take credit for this idea. It's been a DC Pen Show. For this idea. And I'm sure it is maybe a widely used thing, but Lexi Lip Gloss at the DC Pen Show, we were asking about ink, and she pulled out a passport notebook and just started flipping through, and all of her inks were listed in there. And I thought, that's super compact, that's super portable, it's expandable. And so that's what I've done. I have to pause you because I have to cough. Okay, I think I'm better. There's still a little residual cough. And because I was down sick for so long and had been away for a week for the pen show, and really the week before that I hadn't mowed the lawn. So our backyard hadn't been mowed in a significant amount of time. So my son and I have had to do a couple rounds of weed whacking and then mowing and raking, and so we've been inhaling dirt and dust and grass pollen for the past 3 days. So a little bit of cough there, but I'm okay. Love this. I have full faith that this is some system that I can stick with. And if I really wanted to, I could put this little brass swatch thing there, but I won't. All right. Next up, we have another Passport notebook. This one I bought on sale at Atlas Stationers. You can use code Desert Inkwell at Atlas Stationers to save 10% on most items. They have a phenomenal affiliate program. So I do get commission back if you use that code. It doesn't cost you extra. It actually saves you money. And then it helps me out to buy pens, ink, and items to share with you. I did use part of that commission to purchase just an actual traveler's notebook in the Passport size. And then again, I have 3 Midori traveler's notebook inserts. Now, what I have done, as you can see, is I went on Etsy and purchased this stamp set from the Well-Appointed Desk. We have 5 nibs at the bottom, a little ink sample, ink bottle, stamps, brand, color, currently inked, etc. New fave, a little category if it's a sample, bottle, or cartridge. That one I'm not using currently. I might start a last notebook of the pen and ink pairings. Let's see if I can show you. So I took some of these stamps you can tell are already out. The brand, color, the shading, sheening, shimmer, multi-chrome, the ink bottle, and then a nib. And I just went through, I think just the first notebook. Yeah, I didn't lose my mind into the second one. And inked all of these pages with water fast ink. So these aren't going to bleed. And what I'll do, here's a better example. Again, you can find the Well-Appointed Desk on Etsy. That's where I found it anyway. I would need to do more research, but you can Google that for yourself. So on this book, my plan, as you can see, is to write in the brand and the color name in the actual ink, swatch it, and write my notes here at the bottom. So because these are for bottles, maybe I'm just willing to put in a little more documentation work because it's a larger amount of ink to keep. I was trying to do the swatch part just using the pen, so that's why it's a little patchy on those. You can tell that I was down for the count because we only made it 3 inks in, and no progress beyond that, but I will get to it. You'll see these notebooks in future currently inked, or if I'm doing swatching inks for a Swatch Mafia video where I've received ink samples from a friend. I'm going to try and be more diligent about sharing those ink swatches as they're new to me. So those are these. These fit really well. I have like a little journaling tote, and these fit really well in there. I love them. Carmen, thank you again. Now, lastly, on to bottles. So yes, that Passport notebook is going to be used for bottles, but that's being used for bottles to go with me. So when I go to a pen show, if I'm going to a meetup, if I'm going to my sister's or friends, yeah. So those are portable and they can go with me. This is the Big Daddy of ink. Let me open this up. You can see, sorry, there is a little, I know there's some glare there. It's probably messing with the white balance on your TV. I'm not going to flip through all of these at the moment. I do think it would be really neat, maybe in some short videos, to do a short on each bottle of ink, just a quick swatch, because most of these I'm going to re-swatch. Some of these that you see swatched here, like Birmingham Pen Co., Saltwater Taffy, is a sample that I have and not a full bottle. And I only want full bottles swatched in this book. I have used the Wearingeul ink swatch cards, and if you haven't used these before, they have, ones with no resist, and on these, you can see, like, I didn't, hand draw all of these leaves, obviously. The majority of this card is coated in a shiny, clear material, so when you swatch the ink, it goes into the shape of this leaf. And you have a square here that is not covered by ink. Let me pull one out. Here you go. You can see then this section here is uncoated. Now, they're gorgeous. Y'all know me, fall vibes, always fall vibes. So I went with the leaves. I think these are ash, and then maple, and then ginkgo. For me, the ginkgo leaves, as you can tell, were the easiest to swatch and keep clean. I had a heck of a time with the maple leaves. Like, the ink just got on the card, and then you kind of have to wipe it off. And you can see here, maybe if I tilt, see the little mess? It just didn't look as tidy as I wanted. And because it's so broken up in the middle, I lose. See, my brain just hiccuped. I don't get a clear sense of the ink, and so when I'm trying to match it up, I get a little like these are a little better, and I could probably save some resources by not doing these. But now, if you really know me more than fall, I love my dogs. So Wearingeul also makes swatch cards where just this small portion where the dog's face, I think they have a duck, maybe a panda. There's some other models. Atlas does sell those, so check those out. I think a 50 pack is like $5. So a 50 pack of these swatch cards. And though it will be a complete labor, which I just swatched all of these not too long ago, all of them. It's worth it to me to redo them with the dogs because, let's pull this out. This ink is phenomenal. This is Wearingeul Pride and Prejudice. It's a really deep fuchsia magenta with a gold sheen. It reminds me of an Indian sari, a beautiful clothing worn in India. But I just love how big the swatch is, how much of the ink I can see, and how we get all these pages of little smiling dog faces. So love that. These, so you have an idea of my ink purchasing has kind of gone off the rails, and I'm on a no buy until November, when it's Fountain Pen Day and then Black Friday. But any ink you see with a dog has been purchased as a bottle of ink really since maybe the middle of July. So some of them were bundles, like a lot of these Birmingham Pen Co. inks here. We have Puce Lagoon. Honestly, not a fan. Silhouette, Sunset Blush, Savorite, and Wilting Thicket. This was, these 5 were the Hummingbird bundle that they were selling. And then, a show ink. Now, in all honesty, not all of these did I go out and buy, a full-priced bottle on. A couple of these were gifted. A couple of them were from the pen show where I purchased a pen and received a free bottle of ink, or I purchased a Sailor Pro Gear Slim and it came with a bottle of ink in the box. As well, I think I picked up 2 reasonably full bottles of ink from the sharing table. I would have been fine just taking a sample, but it was busy and I forgot to bring pipettes. So I asked and he said, good, just take it. So, yeah, I like Ferris Wheel Press, Queen and Castle. That was a gift as well. So lots more coming on ink. I really enjoy sharing the colors that I love with you, because to me, that's a big part of why I love fountain pens. Changing my pens and inks out is that I get to experience all these different colors, and I believe that color nurtures the brain. It helps regulate and balance your emotional response, depending on the colors you surround yourself with. So that's really what we're doing with ink. Now, I am, like I said, let me move this out of my way. Welcome back to the mushrooms. I really don't know why that was in there. I mean, it's like a postcard. It's like ephemera paper, but if you know, you know. If you don't, someone saw a picture of something on my desk and asked if this was a bug. And so, because this is just cork, like it's the back of a green desk mat, I just thought it would be funny and wrote, not a tick. So I know we have an ink, I am a cat. If anyone would like to develop not a tick, that is a black ink with a red sheen, I think that would be hilarious. You're welcome for the free idea. Ink samples. Okay. Amy, if you want to be surprised, look away now. If you don't, then welcome. Okay. First things first, and I have never used this. I have not had a chance to use this quite yet, but I thought, because I am one of the samples I'm providing to Amy is Birmingham Pen Co. Silhouette, and this ink, of course I put the book away, so can I show you the ink? Is that a possibility? Right there. Do you see it? Right here. It's a really dark sort of green-black color. So we're going to do a sample of that. And because it's so dark, I have bought a bottle of this, but I haven't had a chance to use it. This is the Birmingham Pen Company Writing Elixir Dilution Solution. So you can dilute the ink without really changing, you know, the flow properties of the ink or how an ink handles. So I thought, you know, that would be a really fun. I mean, I know it's not a swatch per se, but okay, I don't know that I love this little rubber stopper in here. And I suppose as an adult, I don't have to use that. There we go. Normally I don't do necessarily samples this full, but in order, you know, for my friend to have some option, she can split that into multiple sample tubes and, you know, 10 drops of one and, to, you know, something of another. I'm just going to give this a quick rinse. Don't freak out. It's my ink bottle. I'll do what I want. There's dog hair. Welcome to the dog hair. I try and do, depending, if it's a big bottle of ink and someone has already stated that they just absolutely love the ink, I may, and that goes on there, do a larger sample. But otherwise, generally about 3 milliliters, because, you know, if an ink bottle is 15 or 20 or 25 and you give out 5 samples, you can find yourself kind of running through a bottle of ink faster. Which is next? Okay. Dominant Industries. This is Autumn Forest. And I'm going to try and pull these cards out so I can show you, because I didn't have the common sense to pull these out before. This is Dominant Industries Autumn Forest. It's a dark green with, I don't know if you can see a little purplish shimmer there. You know, every time I go to shake a bottle of ink that has shimmer in the bottom, I just remember my sisters and, you know, probably my mom shaking bottles of nail polish, and they had a little stainless steel bead at the bottom to help shake it up. Now, maybe we wouldn't want a metal bead in our ink, but, you know, a little nylon or glass even, maybe not glass, that could chip. Some sort of little agitative bead in there would be amazing. So, look at that. Johnny on the spot. Now, what you won't necessarily see on camera today, because I can't record and then show you my screen at the same time. Oh, shoot. Let me prop those back up. Is on Temu, I purchased this little Polino, I don't know how to say that. Tiny little label printer. It has an app that goes on your phone, spits out perfect size ink labels for samples. I'm a big fan. I think this was $8, $11, somewhere in there. And they have labels in white, pink, and lilac that I've seen, but yeah. So I will make these. If I can figure out how, then I'll do a screen recording while I make one of the labels. You don't need to see them all. Okay. The third ink that I am swatching, and I'm swatching and not swatching ink. What am I doing? I think I'm losing my mind. What color ink is that? That is an ink. Anyone? Anyone? You know what? It's on this last page. Good gracious. wear a mask. Save yourself. This next ink, I just think, especially because it's fall, I did choose some that were kind of fall vibes. This is Dominant Industries October Leaves. I haven't heard this ink mentioned a whole lot, but this is a fantastic yellow gold ink, and there is some shimmer that I believe is copper or rose gold, but it just really enhances the color. But the ink, even without the shimmer, is beautiful. So that is the next ink. Just shake. Don't shake the baby. So how have you been? I know I can't hear you, but did you go to the DC Pen Show? Did we meet? If we did, yay. I've enjoyed really watching everyone's content this year from, Pacific Northwest Pen Show, the San Francisco Pen Show, Orlando. I have a friend who goes to a good amount of pen shows, and so it's a great way to experience it without necessarily having to go. So again, that's Dominant Industries October Leaves, and it's just, I love it. You don't like it? I don't care. Okay. Let me move this over there. Second to last ink again. Now, this is a Robert Oster signature Shake and Shimmy ink, which is a shimmer ink. And this is in the color Schwartz Rose. I thought this was kind of cool. It's like a greeny, dark green. I think there's some sheen and some shimmer. The lighting in here is terrible. There we go. There we go. I just thought that was a great color for fall. A bit of a subdued color. I watch a lot of interior design and home improvement content. If any of you are curious, which I am 90% certain that no one is, because who cares? But my house definitely matches my swatch book. Well, okay, the house was decorated mostly first, so really this swatch book. Now, what did you do? Did you see this? I can't give her this. Haha. How to tell a fountain pen user because I have a ink rag in my pocket. Okay. Wonderful. So I really hope she enjoys these. I don't think I've ever filmed packing up ink swatches before. I hope this isn't super boring or boring. I hope it's less than moderately boring. And this last ink, I first ordered, let me pull this out, because if you haven't seen them, they are too cute for words. Okay. I ordered this next ink, which is Robert Oster Shake and Shimmy. No, it's just Robert Oster signature ink in the color Grün Gilt, which I hardly speak English, but Grün Gilt, I believe, is green gold. Someone will speak German and correct me, I am sure. So I got this color first in a little sample from Yoseka Stationery. They come in these little glass jars with a aluminum or tin cap, and you can actually send these little bottles back to Yoseka, and I believe they clean and reuse them or recycle them at least. I have one too many ink vials. Why was okay? I ordered this ink because I really love, seriously love Ferris Wheel Press's Bookkeeper's Brass. That ink is fantastic. I just happened to snag it one day and just absolutely loved it. And then my sister wanted some, and then we noticed it was out of stock or not for sale on the US Ferris Wheel Press site. And so I started looking for an alternative, and this was an alternative. Let me get the card out for this one, which is easily right in front of me. So this is Robert Oster Grüngilt, which is like an olivey dark sage with a gold shimmer. It's in the family of like Wearing Old Path, but the shimmer between those two inks is really different. I desperately want a bottle of Wearing Old Path, but like I said, I'm on no buy until November, so that stinks to be me. That is that one. And then I have one extra of these out, and no point in being an ink Scrooge. So I hope you can hear me because I'm on the other side of the room. And will I ever be able to find the ink in this? I know what ink I'm looking for, universe. What you hear is the clanking of madness behind me, behind you, while I search through. There we go. The drawers where I keep my ink. My office, where I'm filming, is gonna slowly get a redo. So how these videos look may change soon, hopefully. This last one, this would take me a hot minute to find the card, I think. Is Ferris Wheel Press. There we go. Majestic Maple Syrup. That is gorgeous. Again, possibly lighter, but it really does show up well on paper. I haven't had any issue with it. But, you know, the thing with ink, A, color is subjective, and B, everyone has a different distribution of cones in their eye. Not to get all Mr. Wizard on you, but, you know, everyone sees and can perceive differences between colors a little differently. Some people just are less shade or tone sensitive. Maybe you have more of one receptor than another, and then some people don't have certain color receptors, and then that is where they would have some form then of color blindness, which I used to just feel horrible about that when people would tell me, and then I would think, well, I mean, if you've always known a particular shade, a certain way, like you've always seen it. Anyway, here's the bottle. Sorry if that's giving anyone tryptophobia. Of Majestic Maple Syrup. I ended up buying this bottle of ink. This was not a new purchase. I've had this for a bit because my friend Carmen sent me a sample and I just thought it was the prettiest ink. Excuse me for that cough. Came on too quick. So I'm going to get these labels made, and if I can figure out how to record that process without divulging personal information, I will. If not, then I will end it here and tell you that I've missed this time together. It feels together to me. I feel like I am talking with friends in these videos. I've missed you. I am devising different content and ways to put out more videos and share more of what's in my head. And I think hopefully kind of reorganizing this office will make that a little easier because material and space will be a little more accessible. So thank you so much. I've missed you. I will see you again soon. We are so close to it actually being fall for all of my summer girlies and guys out there. I'm so sorry for your loss, but bring on the autumn. Last thing, my Instagram giveaway. My giveaway for hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you again. If you're not subscribed, it's free. You can click the button down below. It will help you know when I post other videos. And yeah. The winner of that giveaway was Tom R805. I have reached out to them on Instagram and will be getting their giveaway package sent out to them shortly. I didn't want to send anything while I was under the weather, but just to wrap that piece up, that giveaway is over. The person's been notified. I'm so appreciative of everyone's engagement with that. And here's a shameless plug. It really helps me and helps YouTube know that this video was not horrible if you click like and leave a comment. Maybe leave a comment as to which of these inks that I sampled today you liked the best, or what you think of my new system to keep track of ink swatches and full bottles. Thank you again. I'll see you soon. Have a fantastic day.